or you can just leave it wishy-washy expecting that, because I am predictable and I am not staying in to deal with that. Tapu Fini can come in on these attacks, especially if it's a physical variant. Yep, yum yum. Taking that with the greatest of ease. It's a Christmas miracle. Honestly, that's the real miracle of Christmas. The fact that Lead Speed is actually uploading a video after, like, gosh, I don't even know how many months it's been since I've actually posted a video. And honestly, I'd probably post more often if my mood wasn't always complete garbage. Like complete garbage, like outside of like streams I go to or something like that. Like honestly, me recording videos right now is just more or less just a matter of if I'm just in the mood, if I'm in the spirit to record videos, because obviously when I'm not, then I'm probably not going to record them. You know, it's just kind of, you know, it's just kind of a thing you got to expect, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to go into details because that gets into very personal stuff. And now is not really the time to talk about that anyway. But, yep, this is kind of a bit of another surprise as well, because it's Pokemon and not Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't know, I'm kind of like everyone else, I guess, or just waiting for a ban list to come out for that. But, I mean, the game is okay. I mean, it's, I think once the new archetype Zodiac comes out, yes, that's the name. Go figure. That's what the English name of them would be, Zodiac. Haha, I get it, because Zoo and Zodiac. Yeah. Anyways, that's beside the point. This is I'm on Pokemon Showdown, so I guess this is like my first episode, I guess. I don't know if you wouldn't even want to call it an episode. I don't usually make these episodes. But yeah, this is basically just kind of like, all right, well, I haven't played Sun and Moon in-game and all that, so I'm like, well, I did some games randomly prior to this, but, you know, I as far as a debut episode, I mean, I may as well just get myself prepared. And as far as the games themselves, I mean, I think they're great. A few nitpicks I have with some of the way it's structured, but besides that, I mean, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. For those who haven't actually played the game, well, to its fullest and like getting everything, but you know, that is what it is. So yeah, let's talk about team, because that's probably what you care about, right? And this is just some stuff I just put on here because, you know, why not, right? So we have the Decidueye, our grass and ghost starter, and I named him the Hoodlum. The Hoodlum. Yes, that's what I called him that. I know you're going to be like, oh my god, why? But, you know, it is what it is. Especially defensive, this is mainly just kind of like a defogging, roosting, attacking set with Spirit Shackle, so you can pretty much trap things. You prevent the target from switching out, so that's the main idea. You want to come in, you know, Spirit Trap. You trap something with Spirit Shackle, and then you get a free switch into something that can take on whatever you trapped with it. So you can just get a free switch into, say, Tapu Fini, for example. Maybe you want to just get the terrain off. Maybe you want to just defog hazards. And yes, I realize I'm running 2 defoggers, and I should probably not be running 2 defoggers. But I honestly didn't feel like changing the set, even though I might change it later or something like that. But, you know, I guess, you know, it's an extra sense of security, if you will. You know, better safe than sorry. Am I right, fellas? Yeah, I don't get it. But yeah, Tapu Fini, this is basically just going to be like our physically bulky-ish water fairy type. And this is basically just kind of like and just there to kind of tank physical hits, get rid of hazards and screens with defog, and use taunt on slower mons just to keep them from setting up. And Misty Terrain just kind of, you know, it just summons Misty Terrain, and basically when that's on the field, Pokemon on the ground that are touching the ground, or basically Pokemon that are not in the air or are levitating or have an air balloon, they are immune to getting hit by a status condition that isn't named, you know, attraction or confusion. But that also applies to the opponent's side of the field as well, so you want to be careful about that. And yeah, I mean, simply put, and it also halves the power of Dragon type moves, which, I mean, this being a fairy type, it won't matter, but for everyone else, yeah, it will help. Pheromosa, yeah, I know people who played online or Showdown for a while will be wanting this banned, and I mean, it may or may not be banned. I don't know. I honestly don't. I mean, I'm better use this mod while I can, damn it. Femme Brutale. this is basically mixed, just somewhat mixed. I mean, Ice Beam is, I guess that counts. You know, high jump kick, U-turn, Ice Beam, Poison Jab for shit like Tapu Fini that I mentioned earlier, or other fairy types like Clefable that want to just kind of switch into your high jump kick or U-turn and you just jab them in the face. Even though in the games, yeah, it's weird, right? It's kind of a slight spoiler, I guess, but like when she actually uses Poison Jab in the game, she's just like launching a barrage of kicks and shooting the Poison Jab at an opponent. That just looks weird, I have to admit, but kind of silly at the same time. Of course, we got the obligatory Mamoswine, because this is pre-bank and this is going to be all over the place, so I mean, it kind of feels like you got to have something like this. So Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and Ice Shard just to like, just kind of standard Jolly Sash. Just, you know, you can lead with it or you can leave with something else. If you predict someone to counter lead Mamoswine, you can leave with something else. Tapu, Melee. Yes, Melee. Oh, look at me. I'm just on a roll with the nicknames today, aren't I? Psychic, Moonblast, Focus Blast, and Shadow Ball. This is Choice Scarf. I know Choice Specs is pretty popular, but I think the extra speed is nice, and because of Psychic Surge, the battlefield gets all weird, and Pokemon on the ground cannot be hit by priority moves. And also, Psychic type Pokemon on the ground have their Psychic moves boosted up as well, so you can see with base 130, this is going to hit hard, and if you have Choice Specs, it's going to be a nuke, especially if you put if you had a Modest Nature on it. Whoo! Man! Talk about Nuke City! You just nuke things with Psychic. I mean, there's a few things that could switch into it, but, you know, there aren't that many, I think. And then, of course, we got good old General Skarr. He's basically going to be our spiker and whatnot, just kind of like he's always been. And I guess I'm just going to, you know, just pause here and then I'll hopefully get some battles, because this is just kind of a team I put together. There's not much else to say than this, but I mean, this part is long, but I'll put a thing in the beginning where you can just skip ahead, so it won't be an issue if you just want to skip this part of the video. So yeah, I'll be there in just a moment. Alright, battle number 1. Wow, it's been a while since I've said that. So, obviously, I'm just playing out some games because, you know, it's been a while and I thought, you know what better way to celebrate than to bring something that I used to do on my channel long ago, you know what I mean? And I say it's team. Alright, so I think I'm going to lead Mamo, because lead Mamo seems very obvious. And I think that's obviously a good lead. I could go for Earthquake here just to do a lot of damage to this Toxapex, because it is a poison type, so I can definitely get a good hit on this as well. I could do that, but I may want to get my Rocks up as well. But he's also got that Decidueye to potentially defog, so I'm just gonna Earthquake just to get as much damage, and I get a crit. The crit was, yeah, that crit was, I don't know how much it actually mattered, just because. Anyways, I'm gonna go for Rocks because I'm predicting him to switch out, because obviously I don't think he's going to want to lose his Mon yet. And let's see what I want to do here. I think I'm going to go into my General Skarr here, because I already got my Rocks up and I can save my Mamo for later. And he's going to go for Rock Blast. Oh yeah, that's right, Rock Blast. Rock Blast is, yep, it's going to hit 5 times because of the Skill Link ability. And I'm going to, I could go for a layer Spike, but he's got the freaking Decidueye on the back. I got to be careful because he can just defog my hazards and just be done with it. Although if he does that, I can go into, I can go back into Mamo and just threaten him out immediately. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. I want to just get them hazards up. And then I can just go for Roost next turn just to heal off all this damage. Unless he gets a bunch of crits and knocks me out, which that's also a possibility. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not going to waste my time trying to attack this thing. And because he also has, like, what's that move? I can't remember. Like, Beak Blast, right. I got to remember avoiding hitting him while he's using Beak Blast. Beak Blast is actually a pretty interesting attack because it starts up at the very start. Like, it goes first before the opponent actually attacks, even though it's a negative priority move. Like, the attack doesn't land until after your opponent makes his move. But while he's setting that up, if the opponent attacks it with the contact move, then the opponent who made the contact move gets they get burned. Enough said. And let's see, he's got the darn Tapu Koko, and this thing is a threat because he's got electric moves which can threaten me. I could go into my Decidueye because this is my specially defensive, but I'm not sure if he's mixed or not because there are some variants of Tapu Koko that can run Brave Bird on it, and I would just wreck my Decidueye because of the grass typing. Well, I think I'm gonna go into my Decidueye because I don't necessarily want to bring in my Mamo. Like the reason I didn't want to bring in Mamo because it was probably gonna die to the Dazzling Gleam. And look at me using die in a Pokemon game. Honestly, you're used to it by now, honestly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right for the Spirit Shackle. Just to get some damage on this thing. And I mean, if he wants to stay in and go for Dazzling Gleam, be my guest. And he's going to go for the... I should have seen that coming. But honestly, that's okay because... like, forcing him out just means more hazard damage. And that also means more hazard damage for Toucannon. Like, I don't want to mess around with this threat. Well, it's not a threat. I just didn't want to mess around and just not go for the move that can maybe I can hit something that isn't Toucannon. Basically, I can hit pretty much everything else, including his own Decidueye. So, all right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back into my General Skarr and just go for the. I think I'm gonna go for. Should I go for another Spike? I mean, I could. I mean, why not? I mean, even if he goes into Decidueye. Honestly, even if he goes into Decidueye, that's okay, just because... yeah, like, it's okay if he does, just because, you know, it just... what do I want to do here? I know this thing can set up Trick Room. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird just because I'll do a lot of damage before he sets it up. Alright, he's going to go for Brick Break. Alright. Alright, Brick Break. I didn't even know it got Brick Break. Huh. Well, that's a first time for everything. And honestly, there's probably a reason that I don't see Brick Break on this thing. Probably because, you know, it might not be that good of a move. But obviously, he can just do that. If he's going, you know what? If he's going for Brick Break, I'm going back. If he goes for Brick Break, I can actually go into Tapu Fini. And I'm just gonna go into Tapu Fini and just go for Moonblast. Because, I mean, the only thing that could switch into it is basically his Toxapex. Actually, Toxapex, he's at 10%. Actually, doesn't have... well, never mind. I'll mention it if he brings it in, but... yeah, I'm just going to go for the Moonblast. Just knock it out. I mean, even if he switched it out, basically the Hazards would do him in. So, yeah, that's basically how that one goes, So yeah, as far as just you know, my thoughts on the new mons and stuff like that, I guess I could kind of talk about that while I'm thinking about it. I can kind of talk about that. Basically, a lot of the new mons are just they're weird, right? Because the starters, like, let's talk about the starters, all right? The starters, like they're all kind of weird in a way. Like, a lot of them are not what we expected them to be. Especially Decidueye, I guess, because of how the Pokemon website describes his abilities and him being kind of fast, I guess. But although I guess if befitting of his archetype, he'd be fast on the draw, and necessarily fast as lightning or something like that. But I don't know. Like, basically, and there goes my phone going off. Anyways, the idea is that Decidueye would be a jack of all trades Pokemon. Basically, he would just be like, okay, he can do all this stuff, but he wouldn't necessarily specialize in everything. But that's the idea. The idea is just that he could do all sorts of things, and he kind of can, actually. You can run a lot of different sets on this mon. He's actually a surprisingly flexible Pokemon just because he has all these different attacks that you can utilize. You can run like a Baton Pass set with Swords Dance or Nasty Plot. You can run a Choice Scarf set. You can run this set here, like a specially defensive type of set, which is actually pretty good, actually, just because you are like a hard counter to certain Pokemon and you can just defog, you can just roost on them. Like, you don't necessarily have to worry about... What am I trying to say? You don't necessarily have to worry about specific Pokemon trying to wreck you if you have this. So, I mean, it's interesting though, because it's like the only fully evolved Ghost type Pokemon that can actually... And he got another... Man, what's with the crits, man? Anyways, it's one of the few... It's like, I think it's the only fully evolved grass type Pokemon that actually gets defog. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting in itself, how it's a defogger and a spin blocker at the same time. In fact, that's kind of a niche that only he has at the moment. I know there's also Delmise, another new Pokemon that pretty much shares the same typing, but the way I look at a mon like Delmise to me serves a different purpose. He has a somewhat similar attacks. Like, he has Anchor Shot, which is a steel type version of Spirit Shackle. So obviously, unlike Spirit Shackle, there's nothing immune to it, so you can't switch into a normal type on it. But like, basically, it's more so like a very strong physical attacker with very good physical defense and moderate HP. But it's more so like a stronger physical attacker with better physical defense than something like Decidueye. Decidueye has like more well-rounded stats, and he has Roost, but Delmise has Rapid Spin, which can sometimes be better than Defog, just because Defog gets rid of all hazards as opposed to just you know, getting rid of everyone's hazards and just kind of like putting yourself back sometimes. I mean, I guess that's kind of the idea, right? So I suppose if you just want to use something that's moderately powerful on the physical side that can Rapid Spin and has a good trapping attack, I would say use Delmise. But if you want something that has instant recovery, that's a bit more tankier. Well, when you set it up, a bit tankier on the special side. When you set them up that way, it has instant recovery and can defog, so you don't have to worry about Rapid Spin. Then you can just run Decidueye. So I mean, I guess it's just kind of like a preference thing of like, what do you want to do? And there's the talk specs. So I think right now I'm just gonna go over the Brave Bird just because I can at least knock this thing out. So just to get that annoying mon out of the way, that would have been kind of annoying if he actually kept that thing alive. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically how I feel about those so far. But anyway, I was kind of getting off track. I was talking about Decidueye. Yeah, so Decidueye's got some potential, but I think just because of how his stats are set up, he's meant to be a jack of all trades, a master of none kind of deal. And he missed on it. There goes Stone Miss doing his thing again, where you just kind of miss everything. But yeah, Decidueye's got potential, but he's got like a very niche role, and alright, he just quit. So anyways, I'll be back with another game because, well, that's just how it goes. So be right back in just a moment. Alright, battle number 2. Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about the starters. Yeah, that's right. I was talking about Decidueye. So Decidueye, for a lot of people, it's very disappointing, and you know, people wish he was a bit faster, and you know, I'm kind of with him on that, but I don't think he's terrible. Like, I think he has some potential. He might be somewhat techie in OU, but I think he'll be UU, probably like a very solid UU Pokemon, along with Delmise. In fact, I think they might both be UU just because they both kind of serve a similar but a different purpose too, because of just how their move pools are set up. Like, they function a little bit differently, as I explained earlier. But anyway, as far as lead, I think I'm just going to lead with my Mamoswine, because why not? Basically, as far as like how I feel about the other starters, I guess I can go to Incineroar next. Incineroar is, I mean, I know that a lot of people are not happy with the way his design is and all that. I mean, we could go on that some other day, I guess, which, I mean, I don't hate the design. I mean, some people, you know, I think people are more upset with the speed and how he had a pretty good speed as a Torracat, and then he just speed drops to base 60, which is like, okay, you went from like over base 90 to like basically you just like you go down so low as far as speed stat that it's kind of like, well, what are you doing, right? It's just kind of weird, isn't it? Like you go from like over base 90 speed to something that's base 60, and not only that, but basically his speed and him missing out on certain attacks kind of hurts him too, just because now you don't have like whatchamacallit. You don't have something like you don't have like Sucker Punch or something like, wow, that did a lot. That you could say that did a hell of a lot, as you might say. But anyways, I'm not here to reference Pokemon MD all day. Basically, Incineroar, I don't know, like I'm kind of like, I don't know, like I think once his hidden ability Intimidate comes out, then I think he'll be a bit better, just because, yeah, it'll be a bit better just because now, like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I think now, like right now, I think Incineroar is kind of lackluster. Now, he has got a good attack, and he's got a pretty good move pool, but I think it's just, we just kind of run into this problem where there are a lot of good fire types, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to stand out right now. I do see Intimidate really helping him because he's got good defenses, like base 90 defenses. It actually kind of reminds me of Swampert in a way. Swampert in Gen 3 and obviously later gens, he was always known for being kind of a slower but bulkier and somewhat strong attacker. Like that's kind of the idea. The idea was just that, you know, Swampert was slow. It was slow, but he could take hits relatively well outside of the grass type moves, which he had at times for weakness to. And heck, that's what made him a really good Mon back in the day, back in Gen 3 and even Gen 4. Because, you know, his typing and his overall pretty good stats, barring his speed stat, which isn't like the worst ever, it just made him a really good Pokemon. And oh my god, he actually went for... Oh, that's not good, because now I'm kind of trapped. Well, not trapped, but I can't roost, so I had to be careful now. I definitely had to be careful because this Mon could be a huge threat. I think I'm gonna go for the Spirit Shackle, just because I need to get some damage on this thing, and he'll knock himself out eventually to recoil. If not, then I'm just gonna knock him out. And honestly, I need this thing gone, and I'll gladly sacrifice my Decidueye, even though it's probably not a good idea for me to do that. He can't really do much else against the rest of the team anyways. Against this thing, he's not too good against. Drampa might, you know, Drampa resist Spirit, well, is immune to Spirit Shackle because he's a normal type. And obviously, like, I just need to, this is the thing that I worry about, is this thing. This thing was a huge threat. And now that I got rid of him. Anyways, Incineroar, you know, I think he's alright. You know, I don't think he's like super spectacular, but what can you do, right? And I cannot let this thing take me out because Ash Greninja is a thing, and I would rather not lose my Decidueye right away. So, who's next? Primarina. Now, a lot of people say Primarina is the best, and I can kind of see where people are coming from, because being a water fairy type is really good defensively, and offensively is not that bad either. It's pretty good, and having a base I think it was base 128 special attack. I think that's the number. I can't quite remember. And very good special defense as well. Like, the thing that's holding Primarina back is the move pool being somewhat barren. Like, the move pool isn't that wide. And also, there's also the fact that the HP, well, the HP is okay, but the physical defense isn't that great. So physical attackers are they get to kind of have a field day if they get a switch in on that. So you really can't take those hits that well. But that's basically how, I guess at the end of the day, that's just how, I guess this is just how it is. I don't know. I mean, all the starters, like, a lot of people just kind of feel rather iffy about it and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, oh, and he's got Substitute. Woo, he's got Substitute. Alright. No, he's sub-Leech Seed. Well, ain't that something. Well, I'm gonna go into my, I just needed my spikes though, like, and actually I'm gonna go for the Whirlwind, because I don't want him behind the sub. And that did quite a bit of damage, I have to admit that. Like, and actually that does give me a free switch into something, And I guess my Mamoswine, actually. Although he could just bring the Celesteela and just kind of be annoying, but I'm kind of want to force this thing out. And I don't want to mess around with this, because this thing can hit really hard if he's got the Thick Club item. Although I do have a Focus Sash, so I'm gonna be okay. So I can just set up my Stealth Rock, and I don't care if he goes for the Flare Blitz or Shadow Bone. Yeah, that's fine. Like, that is okay, cause you know I just needed damage. That's what I needed to do. I just needed damage. You know, just getting the rocks up. So down goes Kartana. So 2 big threats out of the way. I did lose Skarm though, but that's okay, I think, just because Skarm was mainly there to deal with Kartana. And I mean, I wanted to get spikes up with him, so he did his job. Great job, General Skarr. You done well. But anyways, about Primarina. Primarina is arguably the best, although I'd say the move pool is a little barren. There isn't too much you can do with it. And the hidden ability Primarina has is interesting, but I don't know how good it'll be. It might be good in something like a VGC format where having spread moves that can go through substitutes is nice, because what it does is Liquid Voice. Basically what it does is it changes the type of your normal. It changes your normal type moves into not normal type moves. It turns any of your voice type moves, any of your voice attacks into water type moves. Now, unlike say Pixelate or Aerolate, it doesn't actually boost their attack. It actually just turns it into a water type move. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. So I'm just gonna, and oh my god, this thing is going to be a pain in the ass. And he gets a crit too. Yo, that is not good. This is where I wish I brought a Magnezone on this team. Maybe I should do that, but right now I'm not doing that because I'm just doing it all in one go. And there's the burn. Wonderful. Now I can't even break his sub and guarantee. Yeah, that's kind of a thing. And I get a crit, which honestly, that crit didn't matter at all. That crit did not matter at all. Like, I mean, it probably would have broken the sub anyway. I need to go into this. Like, that's pretty much where we're at right now, where we're just having to stall out. I could go for Tapu Lele. I don't think I want to do that because this thing has Sub Leech Seed, Flamethrower. Like, what else does this thing have? Not much, I don't think. And actually, I'm gonna go for the taunt because if he has Sub, I'm gonna stop him from doing that shit. So I'm pretty much gonna 1v1 this thing because he can't do much to me, and I can do more damage to him than he can do to me. Or unless he has Flash Cannon, in which case, okay, we'll pretty much do the same amount of damage. I just don't want this thing like basically, I don't want this thing having to, like, I don't want this thing behind a sub. Like, I don't care if he attacks me, I don't want him behind a sub. That I can tell you right now. Like, that is not something I want him to do. And I think what I'll do is I'll go into, well, I don't want to go. Where do I want to go into? Not much, actually. And I don't want this to die because of that Greninja. Because that Greninja, yeah, I'm gonna just fodder this off. I just need a free switch into something. Alright, defense went up, that's fine. That's okay, I guess. Let's see, I'm gonna go to, you know, this is very frustrating, I have to admit that. Because of reasons. And I don't want to lock myself into of course I miss. Ha! Of course I missed the Focus Blast. Of course I missed the Focus Blast. Like what else would I have? And I missed another. Yo, that's kind of frustrating actually. I think I'm gonna, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm just gonna close out because it's awkward to close out. So I'll just be right back with another game. So be back in just a moment. Alright, battle number 4. This might be the last one I do. I don't know. Anyways, what was I talking about? I was talking about Primarina. Actually, you know what? I forgot to talk about Decidueye's hidden ability, Long Reach. Now, Long Reach is a very unique ability. Basically, what that does is that your contact moves don't actually make contact with your opponent. So, yeah, so you can use a move like Leaf Blade, and it'll be treated as a long range attack. So you avoid stuff like, you know, Rough Skin or Flame Body or something like that. You avoid the extra crap that the extra damage that goes along with extra damage that might, or the extra effects that go from making direct contact. So that's actually kind of cool. You basically, oh wow, you actually didn't have a sash. Okay, well, okay, that's fine, I guess. Like I thought he was gonna be focus sashed because a lot of these Nihilego leads happen to have a sash. So yeah, like that's a thing that could happen. And there's a Tapu Fini. Yes, Tapu Fini. I'm going into the Decidueye. I need to get rid of those hazards. And actually, because yeah, I'm gonna go into this because I can take any attack. Yeah, I can take any attack, and I'm gonna go straight for the Defog. Cause now, well, should I go for Defog? Yes, because I know he might bring in Hydreigon. I want the Stealth Rocks gone, because that way I could keep my Focus Sash intact. I can keep my Sash intact and just have a good time. That's the idea. Now I'm gonna go right for the Spirit Shackle, just to get some damage. And he's gonna go for Toxic, even though he put up Misty Terrain. You know, that's a thing I've seen lately, and actually he kind of screwed himself over doing that, just because now I can just keep that. Oh, okay. Wow. And I think he just realized he kind of screwed up. He done goofed. Anyways, yeah, like, I don't know, like, this is the kind of a thing that happens a lot. Like, when it comes to these terrains, like, a lot of the time I see people trying to go for priority while Psychic Terrain's in play. I see people trying to, like, go for a status while Misty Terrain's in play. You know, we get a lot of these instances where people kind of forget that the terrain's up, so they kind of go for attacks that then they just go, oh derp, I have a Misty Terrain, or I have Psychic Terrain, I can't do this. It happens a lot. It seems to happen to everybody, and heck, it might happen to me too as time goes on. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna get another game because this was much shorter than I thought. So be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, battle number 5. I like this team. It looks cool. I know, yeah, I definitely love Shiny Minior. It looks really cool. And there's the Shiny Mimikyu. Shout out to 6-Foot Hacks, aka Leoden. Shout out to his Mimikyu Shiny Hunt, which was definitely very frustrating at first, but you know, it turned out alright. And oh gosh, should I even talk about the other one? You know what? No, because I think it's best if you see it for yourself. I'll leave a link to it. It involves a Shiny Hakamoho. I know some people might know what I'm talking about, but basically that was just hilarious. Anyways, I'm gonna go lead with. I could just lead Mammo again. I mean, why not? I mean, like, what's the problem there? I mean, I guess I can just leave it that. Or you can just leave it wishy-washy expecting that, because I am predictable and I am not staying in to deal with that. Tapu Fini can come in on these attacks, especially if it's a physical variant. Yep, yum yum. Taking that with the greatest of ease, you might say. I'm going to go right for the Moonblast because, I mean, if he goes to Dripwing, I mean, I can get a Spatak drop perhaps. Oh no, Flame Orb. Oh no, I have a weird feeling about this one. I think, yeah, Flare Boost. Now, yeah, Flare Boost. I believe it raises. Does it raise his attack? I can't remember what his ability did. Like, I know it boosts. I think it boosts power in some way. I cannot remember right off the bat. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the taunt just so I know this thing likes to just potentially set up. Yeah, okay, now I remember now. It boosts special attack. Alright, I'm going right into my... What do I want to do? You know what? I'll go on the Mammo because... I mean, I don't necessarily care. I can live a hit. And I can just go right for the Icicle Crash. And just take this thing out. That was kind of scary, I gotta admit. And I might not get rocks up. I don't know. It depends on what he brings in. If he brings in like if he brings in Drampa, I might get up my rocks, or I can go for Icicle Crash. Well, it depends on what he brings out. Like it really does. But I also want to break this thing's I want to break this thing's whatchamacallit? I want to break the disguise. Let's just say that, okay? Like breaking the disguise is important. Like I definitely want to break that disguise. That's very important. Just so I don't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, you're gonna be that guy, huh? Alright, well, I know what I gotta do. I'm gonna go right into my General Skarr. And I'm gonna go right for a layer of spikes. Play rough, okay. And that was a crit. Yo. Look at that. That was cheeky, I guess, and that's a wood hammer. Did he predict me to switch out right there? I guess he did. Like, that would have been bad if I did switch. I almost thought about switching out, but I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. Anyways, I'm gonna... Okay, like, you know, I think I'm just gonna end it here. Right, so I think I'm just gonna end it here. You saw... Well, you didn't get to see every one of the Pokemon I used, but... This is just gonna be, like, making a comeback in a way, so... Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment. You know what? Why am I asking you guys to do that? I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. Do whatever you want. Like, I'm probably gonna... Honestly, though, like... asking for... I mean... Oh, yeah. You know, the only reason I'm even doing that is because, like... YouTube algorithms or some crap like that. I don't know what's going on. And there's this whole thing where on the video, you know, there's like a bell or something like that. Apparently you tap it and then you'll get notifications when a person uploads a video. I don't know. Like, I don't know why, like, I don't know why we have to have a bell there. Like, why can't the subscriptions things just work properly, you know? I guess it's just that, you know, if you're subscribed to your favorite YouTuber and you want to see when they post videos, then I guess it's kind of a mostly fail-safe way to get notified. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of a thing. So, yeah. Wow. This is just a weird live video, I'll tell you that much. I feel so out of my element. But you know what? It's okay, you know? We'll go through this together. And there might be something else I link to. I was actually involved in a Wi-Fi battle against Leo, aka 6foot Hacks, that is on his channel right now. So I can leave a link that down in the description below. And one of my replays was actually showcased on Mega Crashers Snow. Yeah, so it was on one of his videos. It was basically the Subscriber Showdown Sundays, where us amazing viewers get to watch him narrate over some replays we've done, and mine was actually featured in a fairly recent one. I'll leave a link to that as well. Like, you'll see, it's like the second battle in the video if you're curious, so if you want to just randomly skip ahead to that if you want, I wouldn't recommend it because I just really like Mega Crasher's videos, so... Yeah, you know, link to that as well. So, anyways, until next time, peace out, people, and Merry Christmas.